Winlink there's something about it that folks might think that it's complicated and something they just don't want to have anything to do with, because I used to think that and even sat through a presentation and I still thought that. And then one day I thought, I'm just going to try to figure this out just because it's going to increase my knowledge base a little bit. And I found out that Winlink, can you hand me my notes? Sorry. I found out that Winlink is really not that complicated. It is an email client that is similar to Outlook or Thunderbird or any of those third-party clients that you may use on your computer to get your email. There are some differences in Winlink. The major one being that with Winlink, you can get your email off the internet if you want to, but it also has the ability to get your email from your HF or your VHF, UHF radio. There are gateway stations out there in the etherland that you will talk to on the radio that Winlink will talk to, and that's how it is distributed through the system, through the airwaves. The first one I'm going to go over tonight is the Telnet. Telnet is getting your Winlink email off of the internet. And so it just acts like any other email client. Now, just to kind of go over some, Winlink can send and receive email via the internet on Telnet and also over ham radio. But don't let it scare you. Again, it's just an email client. Now, if your radio is set up for the digital modes like FT8 and others, then you're set up for Winlink. First thing we're going to do is go over Winlink using Telnet. So we're just hooked up to the internet here. We don't have any radios that we're going to be working with here. So I'm going to roll the video here. Now you'll see up here where my cursor is, that says Vera HF radio. Okay, we don't want that right now. We're going to switch that to Telnet. So I just hooked it up to the internet. And I know that I have a couple of emails out there waiting for me on the Winlink system. So I'm trying to get this stuff out of the way here. So I just hit start session, and now it's connecting up and it's getting my email. Now, Winlink like this is not like your email on your phone or your normal email client. It is not an automatic, is not a push system. I'm going to stop this here for just a minute. That's right. You don't get notified until you check in. Now, why can't I just go down here and there we go. That's what I'm looking for right there. Okay. Right now, I just found out tonight on the way into this meeting, talking to Ken, KB7DFP, that the radio mail application for your phone, which is the same as Winlink, is a push notification. That is, if it's live on your screen, if you swipe it off, then it's not going to do it. But once you get back into it, I guess it does automatically push your email. But in the case of what we have here on Winlink here, you have to go in and fetch your email. And it told me that, you can see them right here. I have 2 emails. So I could read those. I could reply to them. I can click on them and put them in the red mail category here. So to this point, it's not that complicated. It's just another email program. Jim? That's correct. Go to a gateway station on my phone? On your phone, it's strictly internet. Now, I also found out, but apparently it can connect. They do have it so that you can connect it to your radio and use it like you would a computer or something. Instead of the computer, you can use your phone. But I don't know how that works or anything. Pardon me? Yes, yes. Yes. So, but yeah, no problem. Okay, so I'm just reading my email here because I went into the email, and now, like any other email program, I'm just sitting here and reading it. So I'm going to get ready to reply here. This is an email from Ken, KB7DFP. So I hit reply, and now I'm going over here, and it brings up my email. So now you can see me typing there. I pre-recorded all of this, so that's what's happening. This happened a few days ago. Yeah. Good to hear you. Hope you had a good holiday season, blah, blah, blah. Just, your typical email that you would send to anybody, blah, blah, blah. Reber Zach Harper's over. And here in just a second, I'm going to be finished, and then I'm going to send this just like I would send any other email. Now, this is data going over the air normally. In this case, it's going over the internet, but see how I highlighted all the previous stuff and I just deleted that. Because when you're sending it over the radio, it is a whole lot slower than it is when you're sending it via the internet, even though this is the internet. Jim? No, sir. I'm still on Telnet. I'm still, yeah, this is like any other email client right now. I could use this for my email client if I wanted to, rather than Thunderbird, which I use at home. Okay. So yeah, and we'll get to the HF radio here in just a second. That is incorrect. You can send it to anybody. And yeah, you just go in there. And in fact, that was in my notes here. And that's one of the things that's misunderstood about Winlink. They think it's only for hams or it's only for emergencies, but it's not. And all you have to do is when you send the email, you'll go into the two like normal and you just say W7OUU@gmail.com or whatever, and you'll get it. Correct. That's right. And they can send email to you from their own email and you will get it. Yeah. They won't use your normal email address. I'm getting a little ahead of things here, but that's okay. And we'll go over that here in just a second. Yes. Yeah, right. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of give there's also a place on here for messages. You'll see it right here. Now, yes, you can use this for your regular email, but it is basically built for emergency purposes. And if you go into Messenger, and I can't do it here because this is just the video, but in the actual program, you click on that and there's a place you can go where there's all kinds of pre-built messages that the emergency type thing that you can fill out and send if there was an emergency. There's reports, there's requests for help, there's you name it. There's a whole lot of forms. I didn't want to get into that tonight because I didn't want to overwhelm everybody who were just learning Winlink, and I didn't want that to complicate the issue. So that can be a program for another time, but I did want you to be aware that it was available. Okay, so I forgot where we're at here. Okay, we already said, so the email went out and it went back to Ken. And another thing I wanted to mention too is when you sign up for Winlink, when you download Winlink, and I do have the links at the end of this video where you need to download two things. You'll download Winlink, and then you'll download the Vera HF modem or the Vera 8 VHF modem so that it will work with your radios. There is with Winlink, you do need to register, but I don't believe there's a charge. I could be wrong. If it is, it's not a big charge. With the modem part, and I'll show you that here in a little bit, I think you can use it, but it's very slow. And if you pay the money and get the registered version, then that speeds it up. It's a lot faster. And I think when I bought it was $60, but it's a one-time deal. So it's not a subscription. It's a one-time deal. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do here is, one more thing I wanted to mention. As a ham, when you go in and you register for Winlink, you'll go through and answer some questions, and then they'll send you the membership and all this kind of stuff. And once you're signed up forever. once you are signed up, then your address in Winlink is your call sign. So if I wanted to send Bob over there an email on Winlink and he was a member of Winlink, I would just send it to N7SVI. That's all I'd have to do. If I wanted to send to somebody who wasn't a Winlink member and just send it to the regular email, I would use the regular email address. If somebody wanted outside of the Winlink system who was not a member wanted to send me an email, they would send it to K7SU@winlink.org. It's not the same email that you would use in your regular email client. When you're in Winlink, your call sign at winlink.org. If it's ham to ham, it's just their call sign. So, okay, moving right along. Any questions so far? Right, right, yes. Yes. Well, yeah, and even to just get Winlink, yeah, to register, you have to be a ham radio operator. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to send this on my HF radio. So I'm going to click on play. So I'm going down and I'm choosing Vera. I know you can't see that, but it's Vera HF Winlink. We don't want, so now we're going to open the session. That's right. Now we're going to send using the radio. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. And we'll go through that. Now, when I opened this, I hadn't been into it for a few days, and they are constantly updating this, adding new forms and everything. And stupid me, I went ahead and told it to go ahead and upgrade now instead of just waiting. But it doesn't take that long. And also, every few days when you get into this program, it will update. It will ask you first, but it will update. It has a list of gateway stations that you click on, and then it updates the propagation for those stations, and it shows you the probability of connecting through them with color coding. Yes, Jim. When does the how often does the gateway transmit what you had just received? Whenever you log in and get on Winlink to fetch your mail, you'll get it. As soon as I get it into the system, you can log on at any time and fetch it. Guess what I'm asking is that when it goes to the gateway station, it's waiting for you to log in and get your email. It's when you log in. It's when you go into Winlink. See, I sent it to a gateway station, so it's sitting there until Jim gets home from lunch at the airport, and then he gets on his, yeah. And then no, it waits, and I don't know how that part of it works. Somebody's got to have a holding computer somewhere. Yeah, but, and I don't know how that part works. That's above my pay grade, so. Yes, that's right. And it's instantaneous, I mean, well, as a matter of fact, you can, and I have not done that, but yes, that's another feature of Winlink is you can connect radio to radio and just send messages back and forth like you were texting each other. So, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Those are rich people that have more than one. Well, only for propagation, but there are people that are, I've done it on 80 and 40, and there's also people on 20 and 15 that are gateway stations. Well, you'd still, yeah, but all you'd do is go through whatever gateway station you could get into. We have one in Burley, although he's not all that easy. He doesn't have very good antennas, AG7 Mike. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He has to be able to work No, he logs in. He logs into some gateway station over that he can connect with, and gets it. They are, yeah. By RF, yeah. That's my understanding. That yeah, yes. That yeah, and I don't know how that works. Yeah, yeah, and they have to be. They have to be. So that's something I need to find out a little more about, I guess. But again, that's above my pay grade. But okay, yeah, that's right. Exactly. That's kind of what it is. So okay, this darn thing is just in the way. I don't know if I can squeeze that down or not. I guess not. What happens? Oops. Okay. Oh, oh, the second. Well, that did it too. Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to do that one. Okay. So now continuing with the video. Let's see. Okay. Now I gotta figure out where we're at here. Let me pause it again. This over here, you see this where my cursor is going around and around? That's the Vera HF modem. That's a separate software that you have to download, and that's the one that costs $60. Well, that's what connects your computer to the radio, and that's what operates. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Now you can get this, you can download it, and you can use it for free, but it's quite slow, and it goes a lot. And let me tell you, after playing with this Winlink for a while, Winlink is dreadfully slow. It's kind of like back in the old days of the 300 baud modem, you know, sending stuff over H. And now there's some stuff they do get pretty fast. I have, I've not had super fast speeds, but yes, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so anyway, this is the Vera modem here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to send a message via the HF radio. Okay, here's that list of gateway stations. Now I've gone down here and chosen this one right here. I've had good luck with it. I think it's KD7OAT. He's in California somewhere. And he's on, it says, yeah, on 40 meters. And it tells you the frequency that it's on, and it tells you, well, I'll just go ahead and hit it here. Now I'm going to double click on that. Okay, now you'll notice up here, it puts the center frequency in there and the dial frequency. And if your radio is hooked up for digital modes, then this will automatically switch. It'll automatically switch your frequency and everything. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay? It is upper sideband. Yes. Yes. Okay. I don't know. They're in the, I know on 40 meters here, it's in the higher, up in the digital part, in the high end of the CW portion. Uh, I have heard other, I've heard Canadians there on sideband. I've heard, I don't know how much attention is paid to the, yeah. I think it's just a multi-use thing. They know that they're there, but they don't really care. So yeah, exactly. Okay, so I have pressed the button here and I forget what I was doing here. What am I doing? Okay, I'm going to go up here and do another message, get another message ready to go. Now that we're all hooked up to the HF radio, I'm going to click on new message and I'm going to fill out another email just like I did. This one is going to Ken, KB7DFP, and this is a test. And I'm just typing out a little thing here. Yes, yeah. Carbon copies. Yes. Exactly. And you can attach stuff too. It's got attach right here. You can attach documents. And on the last Winlink check-in, I attached a little weather map of our area and sent it with it. You can send pictures. Yes. Yes. You probably could, but it'd probably take a day and a half. Yeah. Okay. So I just clicked oh, when you make the email, then you click post to the outbox. So now we're looking at the outbox here, and now we're down here and we're going to start the process to send it over the radio. Now you can't hear it, but it's in there. You can hear the radio. And it takes a few tries before it gets connected. Okay, I think we're connected now. Okay, here we are. Now it's sending. And over here, okay, it's like, what is that? 2.5 kilobits per second, or no, it's not even that high. It's a half a bit. It'll send and receive and send and receive. Uh-oh. Huh? Yes. Okay, you see this green progress bar right here? That means it was just sent. And that was the one with the little, no, it wasn't the one with the picture. Never mind. Okay, so now it's saying, okay, I got it. And we're about ready to disconnect here. And I'm going to get a little report that says, okay, one message was sent. And I know that's hard to read there. So we're done. So that's how that works. Okay, here are the links to downloading WinLink Express and to download the Vera HF modem. I can do that, yeah. When I get home, I'll do that. So as you can see, there are a few more steps maybe than just your standard email, but your standard email can't send email over your HF radio. So this would really come in handy if you were up in the sticks somewhere and needed to get out, or for emergency purposes. So that's why it's really revered among the, yeah, and send out an email. Yeah. 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 That's pretty cool. So, and again, you can do this on VHF and UHF. We do have a gateway station for that in Burley. Same guy, Mike McCarthy, AG7 Mike. He's set up for gateway on HF and also VHF. I was playing around with the VHF here a while back and it was working fine. And all of a sudden it just quit working and I got tired of fiddling with it. So it's another program. It's the same, looks the same, but it's actually for VHF and UHF. And when you go into this link right here, you will get a list of the various programs. So you just choose the one you want and download it. So, well, that's about it. I hope I made that simple enough. So, yes. Well, yeah, it's like any other software program. You got to go into the program itself, tell what kind of radio you got, and sometimes you have to futz with that a little bit, to get it. Because I've tried the one that worked for me. Yeah, all the digital modes, you got to set them up. So yeah, you got to do the same with this too. But it just depends on what kind of radio you have. Right. Yeah, you got to play around with it a little bit. Yeah. Bob? You could do that. Yeah, you could email. Yeah, just email back and forth using your radio. I will caution you, the VHF. He's on VHF in Burley, and it worked fairly well. It has fairly good communication. I don't know if it would up to your area where the races are or not, but I know that his HF does not work very well because I usually can't get into his. And sometimes, and it's not uncommon, if you're wanting to send an email, you may have to go through try several gateway stations before you can actually get through. So don't let that bother you. But and he told me, he says he doesn't have very good antennas for HF. So I'm sorry, say it again. No, that I don't know. I would assume you could create your own, but that's way past my, yeah. Yeah. Well, but that could be done if you want it on temporary basis. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. You could set one up at the fire station up there or something, and yeah, that's a good idea. I don't. The guy that in Idaho that seems to be really pushing the Winlink is Don Gardner, W7PJ. He's an emergency coordinator for Kootenai County, I think, or Clearwater County, or one of those up north. He might be able to tell you more about that. I don't know if he is such a technical whiz with it, but he might tell you who to get a hold of, and you might be able to just find that by doing some Google searching too. That's right. Yes. That's right. Yes, sir. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, and I also wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. So I can't answer that. What you could do is just do a Google search, say WinLink for Linux or something, see if anything comes up. Or go to the WinLink page, which is winlink.org. And I know he's got a lot of information on there. You might be able to find something out. But that's a good question. Probably could, yeah. Yeah, and it's all correct too. You know, if it's on, it's all true. If it's on YouTube, it has to be true. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. I need to unshare. Okay.
Thank you, Kelly. Listen, if anybody here has any other areas that they like to be involved in, you know, and you want to share like Kelly just had, that's what we're looking for. You know, it's going to be hard for us to continue to come up with ideas if we don't have other people participating. I can only get so much out of Kelly and Gordon, you know what I mean? And Jim. So if you have something that you think would be interesting that you could share, let me know. Schedule you for time to share. It's not really that difficult. But okay, anybody has anything to add before we shut down? Windows version? Okay. Anybody? Yeah. Yeah, doing what? Oh, you mean why it took so long? Yeah, she got it finally. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I don't know. We have a few of the folks that are here normally are sick, so I'm hoping you guys are staying healthy. They've got this respiratory thing that's going around, and so kind of keep your eye on that. Anybody else have anything to add? Okay, we're going to have a board meeting over here. It's really basically going to be about the spring party. So unless you're interested in that, you don't really need to stick around. But thanks, guys. See you next month.